Charmayne James is a Hall of Famer. She is a record setter, and she's also one of the coaches for Kid Rock's Rock and Rodeo that's coming to the PBR World Finals on May the 17th. And she joins us. Hey, Charmayne, how are you?
Hi, how are you, Steve?
Good. It's wonderful to have a chance to visit with you. Full disclosure, my day today has been I need to count up the number of gold buckles I've interviewed today. It started with Cody Ohl, and then it went to Fred Whitfield, and now it goes to Charmayne. So
Hey,
that's a lot of gold right there.
fun day though.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of interesting to look at the coaches for this event. You, Fred, Cody, Sid Steiner. This is Kid Rock. This is kind of a group that y'all rodeoed a little bit together, didn't you? Or a lot?
Oh yeah, we were all friends
Bobby
out there on the road, and it's kind of like family in a way.
So tell me about being a coach. What do you think? What's your role? What do you know about how you're supposed to handle all this?
Well, from what I understand, there's obviously got to be some strategy of how you pick your team and how you pick your participant to go in which round. And obviously we're going to try and pick really good people. And, you just want to hope that, strategy is let's make sure our people have the best day they can have, right? It's just, you take two really fast horses, but they're both really fast. You just sometimes don't know which one's going to come out on top that day. And, obviously there's going to be strategy with it, but also you want to create that luck around it and that good energy around your team. And I see that that's my role in it, having a good assistant coach and helping me with data of where we're at and what we got to do and so on and so forth as the event, as the event is going on.
Right. There are going to be announcements coming up about helpers and assistants. I don't know how much you can say. Your husband, Tony's going to be a part of your program, I know.
Oh yeah, Tony's going to be there helping me. And as far as like the draft goes, I'm familiar with the draft somewhat, but not like the guys who follow football and baseball. My son had a very good friend that got drafted to the Braves out of high school, and so we were right there with them all through that. So got to witness that. But obviously the guys around me, Tony's been in sports and so having him help me kind of walk me through a little bit of it. And the other part of it is understanding that tournament format of how it's going to play out. It's a little bit like baseball, learning the formats of the tournament style. Once you win here, this team goes there and making sure that I've got that in my head. I need to do that, but definitely Tony has helped me with that part of it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that. I think there's a lot about this rodeo that will be explained over time. I'm not sure that I have any total understanding of the tournament style format either. The big announcement that came out, and if you look at the AT&T Stadium website, for example, it talks about a reimagined rodeo featuring a team format with 6 teams competing in a bracket style competition and Kid Rock in concert. It just sounds to me like it's going to be a very energetic, electric evening.
Yes, and that's ultimately what Sean Gleason over at the PBR wanted to do, was let's bring something exciting for the fans and Kid Rock's involved and just really have a high energy event.
Yeah. Tell me about I keep wanting to say drag race style, but barrel racing in particular, your event, it's going to be there are going to be 2 barrel patterns set up and horses are going to be red light, green light, go kind of a thing. Is that right?
Yes, everybody's been trying to figure out how this is all going to work. And I think when you see it on paper, how the arenas are set up, it probably will make more sense. And then once the fans get there and see the arena setups, it's going to be like, oh, wow, there's a lot to watch here. It's going to be exciting. But so there'll be, 6 people are going to compete in the first round and 2 will go head to head. And whoever wins out of those 3, they're going to advance, right? And then there'll be a wild card. Right. So, yes, there's going to be 2 arenas. They're not directly side by side. They're kind of on an angle And so you will be starting off of like a drag race type light system. Green means go, red hold, green means go. So you're going to need uh, uh, horses in the barrel racing, for instance, that are good starters, right? That are going to kind of go in that box and be ready to go. And if that, depending on exactly how long the box is going to be, do you start a little early because there's going to be a penalty if you go too soon?
Hmm.
And right, like a 10-second penalty if you start too soon. And so, that head-to-head style competition is going to be, I think, really exciting.
I don't know if anybody else is thinking or had a thought that I had. It seems to me that I remember watching these things a long, long time ago, and literally the barrel in the middle was like, a shared barrel, for lack of a better
Yes,
term.
it's not going to be in
Right, you
the
run at the same time.
right. It's not going to be in the arena, and you're not sharing a barrel.
Yeah.
You're going to be in your total kind of opposite side. Now you will be. The arenas are connected a little bit by the third barrel. So I think it's the horse on the right side could possibly be seeing when he's running, could possibly see the third barrel from the other side. And there's no fence in between.
Yeah. Charmayne, how much fun is it for you to have these opportunities and continue to get these invitations to come back into the sport of rodeo in one way or the other, whether it was when you were invited to compete at the American or now as a coach here? It says something about the legend and the legacy you built that you're a person who's in demand to be involved in things like this.
Well, it's a great honor. It really is for people to call and want me to be a part of it. Very humbled by being a part of it, and what a blessing to still be part of something that I love, and all the people, and a sport that meant so much to me, that brought so much. It was my life, it was my livelihood, and it's just really cool.
10 times a world champion on Scamper, one on Cruiser, inducted into the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. Scamper was inducted into the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame actually several years before Charmayne. The WPRA was not included in the Hall of Fame inductions until I think you were part of the first class in 2017. And the single greatest bronze of all those wonderful bronzes at the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame still, whenever I'm there, I go find the one of you making the run where Scamper's headstall was falling off. I mean, there were a lot of different stories that came out of your dominance from 1984 through 1993 and for more than 2 decades at the NFR.
Well, definitely. I was so young, part of it. And remember in the time in the 80s and into the 90s, there really wasn't social media like there is today. And when I was winning and winning more money than a lot of the men, it really garnered a lot of media attention. So it was the big media that I got. It was Sports Illustrated. It was ABC Nightly News. It was Good Morning America. I mean, news stations were flying to our house to do interviews, riding with me to rodeos. That was a time that I really got a lot of media attention. People Magazine, Life Magazine, so many mainstream media publications that I got a lot of attention, or Scamper and I got a lot of attention. And so I think that a lot of people became to know, they came to know Scamper and I. And what a story from a horse who had went through so many sale yards and was mean and a bronc. And then here's this little blonde girl that gets him, and it's just, there's so many stories and takeoff of that. And it's still to this day such an amazing story for Scamper to have gone on and won 10 world titles. And for me to have that commitment and love to do whatever it took to keep him healthy and strong. And it was, everybody said, oh, the moon and the stars and the planets all lined up. And I love it because it absolutely did. It was God's planning. Because what Scamper and I did over that period of time, we've been able to bring to people to teach them better how to take care of their horses and give back to the sport.
The one question that I wonder if you hear over and over and over again is, how did you do it on one horse?
I don't know that I did do it. There might have been a greater force behind it. I don't know. I'm very humbled by it. I can tell you that I loved it. It was 100% all I, cared about. I loved my horse, and worked really hard to learn everything that I could learn every day about how to be a better rider, how to take better care of them. Didn't just follow the, mainstream, what everybody else was doing. I kind of beat to my own drum and kind of followed that inner voice and listening to things outside the box. Does this make sense? Does it not? And so I think that was a big part of it. Just, and the belief I could do it.
You mentioned, and I never thought about this, Charmayne, but 1984, your first world title, you were what, 14 years old?
14, yes.
I wonder what your life would have been like if everybody was walking around staring at their phones on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and all that other. I mean, I can't imagine that, good or bad. I'm not sure. Social media wasn't around then. It was.
Yeah, I don't know. Would I be a bigger, would Scamper and I be a bigger force now because of it? Or I guess, I don't know. I really don't know. Everything happens at the right place at the right time for specific reason. And I kind of believe that.
Yeah. You did bring a lot of fans to rodeo. Sports are defined by their stars. And for a decade plus, you were the star, certainly one of these stars. And I can't believe you didn't bring a lot of people to our sport.
Well, I probably did. And I think a lot of people liked it because I had such a love for Scamper. They love Scamper. People were big fans of Scamper, right? Like, oh my gosh, this horse, look at what they're doing. And obviously I couldn't do it without him. And I don't know that he could have done it without me, knowing what is out there mainstream world. They did a lot of things different than what everybody else did and didn't follow the norm. And so, yeah, I believe I probably brought a lot to it. It was a lot to talk about. And I'm happy for that. And I'm really happy that throughout my career that I was able to try to make the sport better, even if it wasn't always what people agreed with or what they liked, just, standing up for things that I felt like would make rodeo better. That was always my intention, to make it better for the horses and the other riders and other contestants.
Is that part of why you get involved in something like this now?
Oh, for sure. I mean, and look, how fun is this going to be? There's going to be so much hype about this team winning and that team winning. And, that's what we are. We're really competitive deep down, right? So we're going to really do whatever it takes to win, because that's who we are. And, but yeah, so hopefully getting out here and promoting rodeo and the contestants and the great horses that will be there, it's going to be fun.
The one record that will never be broken, I'm convinced, from 1984 until, when did Christy win her fourth one? 1998, I think. The combined cost of almost every world champion horse was less than $2,000 between Bozo and Scamper. That'll never happen again. I can guarantee you that.
No, it's different out there. Everybody is beginning to think like, boy, you better have some money to buy the horses and the rigs and competing against them. But, I don't let anyone ever get discouraged to find that right horse, to go out there and make your dreams happen and get there. You got to imagine it first. If you don't, it'll never happen for sure. So yeah, you're going to head down the road you're supposed to go down.
What are you doing today, Charmayne? The last time I remember talking to you about this, you were doing some schools and you were very much a baseball mom in a lot of ways. What are you doing today?
Well, I'm still doing the same thing, getting ready to go for school in Temecula, California next week. I do one school typically a month, but I manage all the business day to day for all the schools. And so that keeps me busy most of the time. My dad is 90, my mom's 83. So I'm kind of their caretaker on the side. Very blessed to be able to to take care of them and do that. My oldest son Tyler got a scholarship to play baseball at Texas State, just an hour down the road in San Marcos. So he's working hard to get on the team and get in there and play as a freshman. So keeping up with him. And then my youngest son, Austin, he is a sophomore and he's heavy into baseball, really good baseball player. He just made varsity. I think he's going to stay on varsity. You know how that goes. You got to do good to stay there. But, just really, really blessed to be here for my family and, just being a good mom's like the most important thing.
So Kid Rock's Rockin' Rodeo, May the 17th. Charmayne is one of the coaches. And so is there going to be will there be a draft board? Will there be a big whiteboard and a bunch of, ifs and ands and all these kinds of things? I would, if it were me, I would probably drive myself nuts trying to figure out who I was going to pick and who was available and all that. You get to figure all this out and you got a little bit of time. Once the draft is later this month, right?
The draft is the end of the month. The deadline is on the 15th. So if you haven't, if people haven't got in there and signed up yet, they still have till the 15th to get signed up. So
and then that's the WCRA's virtual rodeo qualifier, right?
Correct. I don't know. I don't know that anything's probably worth driving yourself too crazy over. The way I see it, you got to have your picks. And if they get taken, you go on to you move on and you move down. If I don't get this guy, I'm going to take that guy. If I don't get that girl, I'm going to go with this girl. And you better go pretty deep because you just don't know where it's going to happen. I think just doing your homework ahead of time. That's why that assistant coach, their knowledge and an analytical mind. I don't know that I'm able to say who my assistant coach is. They're going to make a big announcement yet. Some people probably already know, but my assistant coach is absolutely amazing. And he's going to be a big part of this in the draft and picking the teams.
I know who it is. And it's a person who is really good at paying attention to every single event. How's that? Was that generic enough?
That was great. Yeah. That was him.
Yeah, that's the guy. And we'll find out about that in about a week, and that'll be kind of fun too. You're going to have a lot of fun with that person who I cannot identify at this point. So what's the dynamic going to be like among the coaches? Are you going to have a chance to, will there be a little, I can't imagine Fred Whitfield and Cody Ole and Sid Steiner aren't going to spend a little bit of time poking at one another if they get a chance to. What's the dynamic going to be like with the coaches?
Oh yeah, it's going to be, everybody's going to be making jabs and at each other and, hey, what's this one doing, that one doing? Everybody ultimately wants to win. And it's just going to be good. It's going to be good, fun competition.
When you found out you got to do this, and then there was a big announcement, you got to hang out a little bit with Kid Rock in December at Las Vegas. I'm guessing people have asked you on more than one occasion. So what's Kid like? What's it like to get around him? I don't know if you had much chance to hang out with him, but what's Kid like?
Well, I really haven't had a chance to meet him, sit down. Hey, how's it going? I haven't had that conversation with them. I'm sure, that opportunity will arise. The thing about Kid Rock that I was really excited about is that he is a huge patriot for our country and loves our country. And, seeing him around Dana White, I followed Dana White's journey with Gary Brecka, as far as getting healthy and, just working on getting better. So I've been kind of following Dana White, and then Dana White and Kid Rock and Trump are all together. And I'm like, this is really cool. I just like to know, hey, what's it like to golf with Trump? Ask him questions like that. And so it's really, it's really neat to be involved with them. I'm probably more interested in, just, hey, wow, you guys are doing some amazing things behind the scenes for our country. And I probably appreciate that more than anything.
Yeah. Charmayne, the last question before I go, I am really intrigued by over the last, the American was kind of a departure from traditional rodeo. The WCRA has been is very much involved, obviously, in all of this. Folks who want to get drafted have to, be involved in the WCRA. But there are there are opportunities to step outside the traditional and tradition. The traditions in rodeo are great. And I'm not, please don't misinterpret anybody who watches this or listen to this, anything I'm saying we need to abandon what has made rodeo great for decades and decades. But at the same time, it's fun to see people experiment with ways to grow the audience and expand and reach out and find new people and find new fans. And to me, that's a great opportunity that this event possesses.
I think so. There is never anything wrong with the way this is going, and who knows, it may grow into something really big. And from somebody as a competitor, as a contestant, I think these kind of opportunities are amazing, because there has not always been a lot of money. Like, rodeo pays a lot more than when I was in there. Huge difference now. And so with that said, though, the price of trucks and trailers and feed and everything else in between has gone up a lot as well. And so any opportunity to get in there and win more money and get more visibility to the fans out there and more TV and all of that's going to do nothing but improve. So I'm all for it from a competitor standpoint and a fan standpoint. Why not?
Yeah. You mentioned the money. I told Cody Ole, I said it would be really hard for me to not go back and multiply those 52 go-round wins. And I don't remember how many you won at the NFR by what it paid this year to win a go-round, just to see what. Of course, in 1984, you weren't paying $5 a gallon.
Let's don't do it. Let's don't do it. We might cry.
Yeah. No kidding. Charmayne, have a lot of fun with this. Just enjoy the heck out of it.
Yes, definitely. Every day should have fun, not just this event. I just try to have a good time every day.
Yeah. How much do you go to some jackpots, or are you able to get out and compete much?
Oh, a lot of people ask me that. And, I want to go out. I have a couple nice colts that are really nice here at home. I think I'm going to get out and go, but I'm just gone a lot on the weekends. Like this weekend, for instance, we're going over Texas State to watch a scrimmage. And it seems like, Austin plays Mondays Mondays and Fridays. And so it's just nonstop. I think if I could go and kind of stick with it, it would make a big difference.
Yeah. Well, like I asked you earlier about the times I've spoken to you, and you talked about how important your kids were and being supportive of them and all that. And it's rodeo's a Christy Peterson and Jordan Briggs, when I interviewed them for a podcast a while back, they both said rodeo's a very selfish sport. You have to be kind of selfish to really go out and succeed and to commit to it fully. And the time commitment, there's only so many hours in a day and in life that you have to do all those things.
I think so. But you know what? I think as long as you're doing what you want to do, and you can do it, and you're not, other people around you aren't suffering from it, it's fine. And I'm doing what I want to do. I would never want to get 10 years down the road and wasn't there to help take care of my mom and dad or be there for my kids. I'm not there giving them advice what to do for baseball, other than look, work hard. The guys that work the hardest, are going to always advance, and, be there for them that way. And that's the most important thing to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Charmayne James joining us, the 11-time world champion and now one of the coaches. Do you guys have team names and all that yet, or is
yes,
that?
My team name is Misty Mountain Hop. It's named after a Led Zeppelin song. It was one of kids' favorite songs.
Oh, wow. Okay, Misty Mountain Hop. There you go.
Yes.
There will be. I'm going to be rooting for you, Charmayne, just for the heck of it.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Hey, a little good energy my way. That's all I need.
There you go. Have fun, and maybe we'll get a chance to chat again sometime soon.
Okay. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
Charmayne James joining us.